Vibrant MSMEs for Viksit Bharat. Now we know that how Dr. Narendra is very passionate about MSMEs and he always lays a lot of focus on MSME. So let's talk about how MSME being the backbone of our economy, the Atmanirbhar and inclusive India. And let's see what our leaders in this segment would like to say to all our distinguished audience members as well. With that being said, allow me an opportunity to first of all call upon the moderator of this conversation, Ajay Thakur, former head SME startup BSC, and of course, he was also the managing partner at TGI SME Capital Advisors LLP. Let's give him a big, big round of applause always. Such an honor welcoming Mr. Thakur on stage. We'd also quickly invite all our panelists because we want more talk time for you than me. So please give me an opportunity to call upon the director, ANIL Engine. We've got Divya Sriram, who's there. We also have CS Arya, General Manager, IDBI Bank, MSME Credit and Supply Chain Financing. Vinayak Shukla, GM, MSME, Bank of India. Anshuman Tiwari, AGM, Bank of India. Shalini Dabholkar, co-founder and COO, India, SME Accelerator Network. We also have Piyush Singh, FinTech expert, CEO, Global FinTech Academy, Delhi, who's joined us online. He's going to be seen shortly on the screen behind you. And we also have the CEO of Rupee Boss, I believe, Mr. P.N. Shetty is outside. We'll get, oh, he's right here. Perfect. Let's give Mr. Shetty a big, big round of applause as we welcome him. And as we've all joined in, just reminding that we have Mr. Piyush Singh, who's in the back. Mr. Singh, can you hear us? I just would like to get an audio check.
I hope I'm audible.
Can you be a little more louder, Mr. Singh?
I hope I'm audible. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we can, in the back end, increase your volume a little, but thank you so much for joining in. And on that note, Mr. Thakur, to take it over from here. Thank you.
Very good evening to all of you. I hope you must have enjoyed the whole session. Very intellectual session before me, that is about artificial intelligence. I don't know how many of you understand about artificial intelligence, but nowadays it's a very buzzword, and everybody wants to know, and there is so many confusion about that. But today our topic is more a light one. It's more about financing. And everybody in the country understands about financing. It's money. So everybody requires money, whether it's individual, household sector, or MSMEs or large corporates. Everybody runs on money. Money is the most important thing. It's the blood of any business, any individual. Everybody does job only to get the salary. If you don't pay the salary, they will not work. So money is very important. Everything revolves around it, and the whole world is materialistic. Whether you agree or disagree, whether you take the name of Ram, Krishna, everything, but behind your mind, you have always this thing thinking that how to generate money. But without money, even you can't travel. So money is the most important thing. And let me tell you, I was heading the SME platform of the Stock Exchange Mumbai. And to provide equity financing to the small and medium enterprises was the most difficult and challenging task. Because for equity, the investors, equity is always the very risky instrument, but for the promoters, taking the funds by providing equity is most of the easiest thing. Because you don't have to pay the interest. If you keep on growing, investors will make money. If you don't increase your business or you start going in loss, investors will lose money. It's not much of the liability, but of course it's a moral responsibility. So all the panelists here, they are some way or other very closely associated with the small and medium enterprises. They are helping them to grow. And especially in a country of 140 crore people, we require more job seekers, more job providers than job seekers. So we all stakeholders are helping to ensure that SMEs should get timely payment, timely credit, so that they keep on growing. And the government is also taking initiative. Recently in the budget also, they have created a 10,000 crore fund. They have made it mandatory for all the central public sector undertaking to use the trades platform. And besides that, they have connected the GEM portal with trade. So many things government keeps on doing, but still we keep on hearing time and again that there is a big credit cap of around 25-30 lakh crore rupees, which the MSMEs are facing. So with us, we have from the banks, we have the company, we have the consultant, we have the fintech companies, all of here sitting. So I don't talk, we have only 27 minutes left, and there are 5 panelists. So I will try to wrap it up, but always give advice to the organizers, give us more time for the benefit of the people. So starting with the banker, Mr. Arya. Let me know from you that, how your bank is working or what strategy they are adopting for responsive lending to the small and medium enterprises. And at the same time, what awareness you create among the micro, small and medium enterprises so that they can have easy access to the funds that are being provided by you.
This is the dilemma for us also. Being a banker, our job is to provide loans to the MSMEs. IDBI earlier was known for industrial development. Now we are focusing on SMEs only, MSMEs rather. Whenever we are interacting with the MSMEs, so most of the time what we came to know that they are not aware of the various schemes. I think last panelists also told this. They are not aware of the scheme, they are not aware of the products, they are not aware of the services available from banks. And see, we are a banks, we earn money out of giving loans. So we wanted to give loans. So what dilemma we face that, though now those things are changing, that they don't maintain accounts. Banker being a banker, they wanted collaterals. And being an entrepreneur, they wanted funding that in timely, adequate, and quickly. To resolve these issues, government has taken lots of initiative. We are also, working in tandem with that. So what we are doing, we are creating a product wherein we can give instant loan to them. We are also using technology. Somebody was telling AI, ML and all those things. All those things we have integrated. Now we are giving, a product wherein without, visiting branches, instantly MSMEs, entrepreneurs can get loans instantly without visiting branches, without offering collaterals, instantly, timely. They need not to visit us, no document is required. All those things we are doing. As far as responsible banking is concerned, with that also we are trying to resolve. See, now the issue is coming that indebtedness or over financings. So we are very responsible for that because whatever we are lending, we wanted that it needs to be paid back. So for that we ensure that they are not, whosoever we are funding, especially this issue is in micro. So we are ensuring that they are not over leveraged, over funded, because as of now, because information was not available, so this issue was cropping up. However, now we are using various technology, information. Recently, CIBIL has also come out with a report wherein we are integrating with that so that we ensure that we are not overfunding the MSMEs, especially in micros. Otherwise, as such, we have not found any issue in the MSME funding to MSMEs. And going forward, we see ultimately this is the area where bank will make money and the MSME is going to play a big role in Indian economy.
Thank you, Mr. Arya. Mr. Sethi, I think you are working in a big way in the MSME sector. And I think along with the banks and other financial institutions, you are also providing loans. What are the challenges that you are providing challenges that you are facing from both the MSME side and the banker side? And what are the reasons for those challenges?
I think biggest challenge is the documentation part, right? So they are doing businesses, all the documents to be in place and entire turnover being in banking system, because everything is moving to cash flow based lending now. So bank or NBFC will see whether sufficient balance is maintained to service their EMI. And obviously, MSMEs, because of competition, they'll end up doing a lot of businesses, but they need to collect it on time. Suppose if it is not coming within 90 days, then there's a challenge of, again, there's no cash flow there. This is a challenge, and the collateral part of it, that anyway, I think mostly all are aware of. MSMEs do not have enough collateral to give so that they can get that loan amount they are seeking. That is changing now in the country, thanks to government, RBI, and banks. They are taking positive calls on CGT MSE cases now. The approval percentage on CGT MSE cases are really going up. And challenge for us is, when it comes to bank, is yes, sometimes the time taken by the bank to say yes or no. And I think it's a problem for banks and us both. Getting quality people at the sales level is a big challenge even for banks. So quality of people at our level, at bank level, if you ask me today, is a challenge where to understand the customer's documentation and going one step further, understanding the customer better, doing that follow-up, and such that customer, if he's supposed to get loan in say 10 days, can you give it in 5 days? So these are some of the challenges. But I think overall, if you ask me, things are improving, things are changing. Credit is becoming easier by the day because of the technology is playing a big role in getting these loans sanctioned.
Thank you. Sally, I think you are doing a lot of MSME awareness program where you bring all the stakeholders on one platform. You have called me many times on various various of your programs whereby I addressed the audience on the equity funding. As you have a lot of experience, I want to understand from you, do you think that Indian MSME business owners are future ready to support Indian vision of Viksit Bharat, and what is the nature of gap required to be bridged for achieving the same?
Firstly, thank you organizers for inviting me and giving the opportunity to speak here today. And I think, Ajay-ji, this is a very important question in the context of Viksit Bharat that we're talking today. The fact that, in the perspective of India SME Accelerator Network, we get to connect with MSMEs at the grassroots level of capacity building. So from there, I can tell you a few things that we see. They are absolutely structurally in the right place when it comes to Viksit Bharat story and the entire vision of the country, because they are placed in the most significant contribution level of 30% to the GDP, 45% to the exports and livelihood generation. Having said that, the dependence of the country and the various big corporates and the mid-sized corporates, who are all hinging with the backbone of MSMEs, how flexible, how resilient, how strong fundamentally are these enterprises becomes a very pertinent question. Especially in the context of future ready, which we say is VUCA world and Bani world. So, for most of you who would know, I think I'll just talk about VUCA world, which has been spoken about for a long time, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Given that future that we're talking about, which is almost present today, I think the MSME business owners are truly not ready to a large extent, because they are playing and going with the flow. They're not necessarily driving this. They're not necessarily on the front seat. They're usually on the back seat. If they have to become truly future ready, I think they have to become better business leaders themselves. One, in understanding the business dynamics of the new world. Two, in understanding how financial ecosystem is playing out beyond awareness, to understand whether their business is truly ready to access the finances we're talking about. Why are these challenges emerging? Because they don't yet seem to understand whether I should choose debt or equity. But if I should choose debt, then which one of these is most suited for my business? If equity, then which option of equity is most suited for my business? How do I structure my finances, Randomly, if I asked 1 in 10 MSMEs in front of me, what is your working capital number of days today? I would get an answer from maybe 1 or 2. That's the level of awareness that we're truly talking in the MSMEs of their own businesses. And it is not their fault. I think a lot needs to be done structurally by various ecosystem partners. So one on finance, two on their managerial capability, and three, getting ready for the technology wave that they're riding today. They're all a part of. So we're talking of AI, and it was a fantastic panel, the last one we saw. And I read a report where Ministry of MSME has done a survey to say 40% of MSMEs are using some form of AI already. And it's a heartening statement to begin with. But if you go deeper into it, we really have to think and see what is it being used for. Is it to make notes of their meetings, to schedule calendars, or is it to take better decisions in their business on, say, manufacturing or quality, production, and so on and so forth? So I think the readiness that is required from MSMEs, there is still a lot to be done there.
Thank you, Shalini, for the insight. We have another 17 minutes left, and the audience, the number of audience that they are here, I think we have to stick by the time, otherwise this audience will also disappear. Now I have the question from Mr. Piyush Singh. You have understood the fintech world very much, and today I think the fintech has done a great service to the nation by bridging the gap between the banks and the MSMEs. I want to understand from you that what are the challenges or disruptions the fintech companies are facing, and how they can grow their business so that they can reach to the bottom of the pyramid.
I just want to check if I'm audible to clearly.
Yeah.
Great. So I completely, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me for the panel. I was listening to the entire conversation, especially to the point that Shalini ji made on the use of the technology. So even in the fintech, I would say that all these fintech companies are, I would say, because I'm coming from that industry, are too much agile. They can reach out to directly to the micro entrepreneurs, where you will see that around 98% of MSMEs are micro entrepreneurs. But whenever we talk about policies, whenever we talk about the credit underwriting, we actually use a blanket kind of a policy or a blanket way of underwriting them. So someone who is earning, say, who has a 1 crore of turnover versus someone who has a 10 or 50 crore of turnover, all of them are clubbed into one bucket. And that's the biggest challenge, because someone who has 1 crore of turnover does not think like someone who has 50 crores of turnover. So hence we need to have a differentiated approach for that as well. And fintechs have done it really well in terms of going to transactions. Look at all the models of Paytms or BharatPays who actually go ahead and underwrite on the basis of the daily cash flow. And then they give them a loan. And they also say that you can also repay the entire loan in one go, and you do not have to go through a lot of documentation and all other kind of things. So I think from that perspective, it is very much important that now using AI or the digital public infrastructure that India has developed and is now sharing with the entire world, I think AI plus DPI and fintechs, all three have a great role. But the biggest challenge right now is that fintechs also need a basic, policy-based focus, so that they also have some room or bandwidth to experiment to some extent on how to give them loan with a better alternate credits. Because we know that all MSMEs have some digital trails, but we also need to understand what Ms. Shalini said, that are these digital trails creditworthy enough? Are these digital tools, can you use those digital alternate data to underwrite these loans or not? Or are they just a digital footprint which doesn't make a lot of sense for a bankers like you? So I think from that perspective, the fintechs need to have a better room in terms of experimenting, in terms of getting a loan. Co-lending is a wonderful step. So I think even someone who is not a quite regulated kind of a company, I'm not saying that unregulated companies should have an access to loans and on, but I think working closely with the regulated companies like banks or NBFCs, I think they are doing a great job for MSMEs. So I would stop on that point, waiting for the next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Divya, I think you represent the company. Okay. Now, from the company's perspective, we all are talking about finance. From the company perspective, can you share your, your challenges, or the way you can access the funds to run your business? Where are those issues that you are keep on facing on day-to-day basis, or how your peers who are in this sector, especially a small and medium sector, especially manufacturing company where the capex requirement is very high, are they able to, have the access of finance on the right time? Besides that, there is a lot of competition. Many of the times they work on very thin margin. So how they are able to manage all those things if they don't get the finance on right time?
First of all, thank you, Ajay ji, and it's very happy to be here, and thank you, the organizers, for having me here. Wonderful question, and before me, I think Ms. Shalini had already summarized a lot of things with regards to the MSME and the ecosystem. However, there were a few things that was constantly going in my mind when we are talking about access to finance, challenges, and structure as an MSME. Now, when I say structure, there's a lot of noise. There's this, there's that, you have to do this, you have to do that. There's compliance, there's ESG, there's governance. There are, hundreds and thousands of workers and staffs, the skills that you have to manage, the people, of course, the banks that have a severe pressure on the MSME, of course, with the tight margins. So these are very common challenges that all of us from the manufacturing segment, almost on the 35% that we are contributing to the GDP of the country, are facing. And having a niche segment into this contribution, however, I would like to say that access to capital seems like the most challenging part, especially when you are a business of whatever shape, size, and form, unless and until there are collaterals and equity in stake, there are other things that sort of goes out of the picture. These are the predominant factors that determine the balance sheet, that determine the course of, the viability of the business, and therefore that forms the foundational aspect for banks or other financial institutions to trust you and access to the capital. And the timeline that is taken also depends on these factors also. However, I would say as an entrepreneur from the MSME segment, I would say there are a few cutting edge that companies have been doing time and again to prove the enterprise as a value creation and a value driven enterprise towards whatever market that each segment is doing the business at. When I say that, for instance, innovation. These are some things that would add value to your intellectual asset. Patenting that can also prove and strengthen market access as MSMEs, where another feather in the crown would be if you are having a sustainable business product or a solution. This forms the crux of the challenge, because towards 2047, we are all marching at green economy, green growth, green hydrogen, sustainable climate. We are trying to reduce the carbon emission. And in whatever ways and means, as a manufacturer, specifically in an oil and gas segment, these are our prime focus that adds value to what we are manufacturing. And now there is a transition in the market as it is. There's a lot of vulnerability when we speak about carbon emission and reduction of pollution, especially the spark that was raised by Ms. Geeta Gopinath at the Davos summit recently. Very beautifully encapsulates the need for emphasis on reducing the pollution. Therefore, the shift from LPG, ammonia, and other pressurized gases and to the migration of LNG and the natural gases, where the consumption, the aspect of carbon reduction sort of increases, thereby reducing the pollution, I think would be the vision for a lot of companies for the next 10 years. The next decade is going to look into these. When we have an intellectual property in these lines, the challenges sort of comes down to a little bit, because these add as a value addition to the business in terms of the viability and the sustainable aspect that we are talking about. And that being the ground level, I think is also going to open up a lot of skills, that new skills can come in, a new set of trainings has to be given when the entire market is sort of shifting, the whole country is sort of shifting towards another set of market altogether. So continuous improvement on the processes, on new product innovation would probably help us in reaching a broader market, diversifying of business, very rightly at the very right moment, that will probably enable even the banks to help us very easily.
Thank you, Divya. You have talked a lot about green energy and reducing the carbon footprint. Just I want to know from you that when you approach to the bank or some fintech company and when you talk about reducing the carbon footprint, are you going to get any interest rates subvention from the banks, or are the banks or other fintech company are reducing, or any government policy helps you in getting lesser interest rate?
So far that has not happened. However, there are other schemes where if there is a woman director on board, then the schemes like those can reduce the interest rate and subsidies. However, the export factor has given a lot of rise to claims. If you are exporting above a certain set of limit, that you can claim and have interest reductions. Of course, the Z certifications on bronze, silver and gold level are sort of pushing towards the banks to reduce 0.5 to 0.1 percentage. It takes time.
But let me tell you, access to the equity market will give you better valuation if you are reducing the carbon footprint.
Thank you.
Now again the question from the banker. In India, the major problem that we see is is regarding financial literacy. And most of the MSME sector are very informal in nature. Especially we are seeing in the rural or semi-urban area, the credit gap is very high. So how your bank is helping to approach and to reach to those MSMEs which are in semi-urban or rural areas and provide them or give them the access to funds and also provide them financial literacy?
For this, no. First of all, banks, as you know, that they have brick and mortar outlet in, every nook and corner of the country, in small villages, unbanked area, banked area, everywhere. And what to create awareness, what we are doing, we are, first of all, we have our own institute where we call small micro entrepreneurs. We provide training them. We also help them to, access fund, not only from IDBI, from other banks also. That also we do. And that we are also, holding workshop like this also. IDBI especially is conducting roughly 27 events across India in partnership with ET to create awareness. Because what happens most of the time that the people are not aware of these schemes. So for that we are outreach. We have outreach program. We are conducting seminar. We are conducting workshop. We are providing training. All those things we are doing. We are sponsoring this kind of event also to create awareness. Because of paucity of time, I'm limiting myself.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Piyush ji, that I want to understand from you. Fintech also requires finance for their development. Many of the times they keep on innovating on their IT technology, on cyber security, etc. Do you see any paucity of funds to manage all these things? Or do you think that, PVC guys are giving you sufficient funds so that you can develop, these fintechs can develop themselves to manage the needs of micro, small and medium enterprises?
That's a really tricky question, I would say, Abuji. So definitely, I think fintechs by default, by definition itself, it's a combination of finance and technology. So whenever they create any product, that's by technology, by design, right? And with DPDPA coming in, there is no escape. So it's not like there is a choice that whether you want to be secured or not. So now someone who is not secured, someone who is not caring enough about their customers' data, anyways, they will be penalized. But in terms of even if you look at the VCs or if you look at the investors who are investing into fintech companies are also putting a lot of stress on cybersecurity because if anything goes wrong, the kind of penalty that is there in the DPDP is extremely high, which means that one default and their entire profits or say their investment will be wiped out. So it is very much important for them to do it. Few of the fintech companies might not be doing it, but most of them have already migrated or are working very with consultants or with technology companies to ensure that their systems are secured. And you know that in fintechs, the lending size or ticket is not that much high, which means that we always get a lot of data to crunch a lot of and within a limited time because we also have to work on a limited time. We also have to work on something very fast and agile that, okay, we can also do an alternate credit assessment by analyzing your alternate data. So I think many of the fintechs are actually moving into that cybersecurity programs. And I think with the use of AI, it is becoming much easier to do that. And VCs are also very much aware because they have a global understanding, they have a deeper understanding of whether the Digital Data Protection Act or of GDPR or of any other privacy laws or data protection. So definitely there's no question that we are not moving in that direction.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Sethi, I think Madam has already come, and it means that we are running, sort of time. So, Mr. Sethi, Rupee Boss, and I have seen you, you are very passionate in providing timely credit to the MSME. So, why should a SME approach to Rupee Boss, and what are the benefits that you are giving to the MSME so that they can get the credit at the right time?
I think choosing the right lender plays a large role in whether that MSME is getting loan or not gets decided. And the way the case is presented to the bank, right? Why you anyway know the bank definition, right? Bank is a place which will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need finance at all, right? So we have to do that job, saying that this company, if you do it, because at the end of the day, bank wants their interest back, they are not using your property. So we ensure that if this customer is lended, his turnover will go up by this much percentage, and why it will happen, and all, the way it is presented to them. And obviously, in taking care, before going to the bank, you have to check the bank statement, the credit score. Suppose if he has defaulted one loan, why he has defaulted. Suppose if there is a credit card, the score has come down, why it has come down. Is it because of credit card fees or is it actual usage? So sometimes he may have two bank accounts. You will see that his check has bounced, but if you see on the same day in the other bank there is enough money available. So if you do not explain everything to the bank in advance, the first cut bank will anyway reject it. By the time you do it again, it's another 5 days, 10 days. What customer wants is money as of yesterday. So he wants money on time so that he can process and he can buy raw materials, all that. So saving the time and ensuring that we create competition. We give the file to 2 banks and tell the bank that this customer applied in 2 banks. Whichever bank gives the best rate, he will go with that bank. So we are at the customer side, right? So this is the way customer gets benefited. And obviously, if there is a more competition for the customer from the bank side to acquire him, obviously customer will get a minimum rate of interest, maximum loan amount, minimum turnaround time, and the best product possible for his current growth and the future growth.
Thank you. Time is up, but I will take 1 more minute. Salini, if you can also give some light on how MSME ecosystem players evolved in extending enterprises to the resilient and innovative and globally competitive.
So I'm going to keep it quick, looking at the time.
Please.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, a lot needs to be done. And when I look at ecosystem partners in this panel itself, we have a bank, we have a fintech, and we have supporters like these who have a very big role to play. One is, of course, generation of awareness, which I think a lot of effort is being done. But more importantly, is going to the next level of providing them with the resources, the connections, the networks and the tools, and hand-holding till the last mile. And I think business accelerators like us, like India SME Accelerator Network, there have to be many like us. There have to be many people who have to come in to be dedicated accelerators for MSMEs, and the government, along with them, both the central government and the state government need to do a lot of support, not just in terms of funding, but in terms of actually providing various collaborators to come together and collaboratively work towards making MSMEs self-reliant. Otherwise, the various schemes that we're talking of, incentives, will all remain, unfortunately, on paper and may not see the light of the day. If we are truly talking of Viksit Bharat, then I think all of us have to kind of join hands and go together when it comes to building the backbone of the economy in the true sense. Thank you very
Maybe
much.
Ajay ji, I think I should talk about something good also. We sit in Mumbai office, right? One customer from Nanded applied for loan, and we submitted his application online in SBI platform. In 1 hour time, we got a sanction for 1.5 crore. And we contacted the local branch there, and we told the customer to go to that branch, and he got the loan in about 7-8 days from SBI, and completely digital. Same thing happened in Tirupur. We have Bangalore office. From there, we serviced a customer in Tirupur, and he got loan of 2 crore CGT MSE loan and in record time. So that way, things are really improving when it comes to CGT MSE cases, where it is completely collateral free.
Before I wrap up this panel discussion, let me tell MSMEs, I don't know how many MSMEs are here, but I think their agents might be there. So please go and tell them that all the ingredients of MSME growth are here in India. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. Awareness is not an excuse. Please approach to the right person. Please approach to the bank. Keep your documents, papers in the right place. You have all the things here. You have got loan, you have got equity, you have the people who can support you, guide you, and become big. A country can become Viksit Bharat. It's not other way around. That Viksit Bharat comes first, and then growth starts. Growth of the companies and other people will start, then only this country can become Viksit Bharat. Otherwise, we keep on chanting Viksit Bharat, and Viksit Bharat will never come. So all the stakeholders are there. Please go to them and try to grow your business. Then only country can grow, and we can give employment to so many people. With these words, thanks a lot to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Thakur, for that curation. Please do stay back with us. May I request Rajesh Khemani ji to please join us and help us in taking a felicitation from your hand to all our panelists here on stage. A big thank you. Of course, in the background, we still have our panelist, Piyush, who's joined in. Piyush, are you right now in Delhi still, or are you in Mumbai?
I'm based in Delhi.
Okay, all right. Just stay in the frame because we would just want you to be a part of the group photograph. It could be a little funny that half your face could be covered, but apologies in advance. If you can just go a little behind or maybe stand a little. You're still going a little low, so if you can just put your head towards... it's very tough for me to explain that technology-wise. All right, I think it's fine. We can decipher. All right. No, Mr. Thakur is yet to... Okay, the group photograph has happened? Not yet. Okay, individuals. Yes, please. I thought we skipped Mr. Thakur in the frame. That's not possible. Thank you so much to our panel. And please, let's give them a big, big round of applause. And now for the group photograph. Just a cue to Piyush, give us your best smile, and of course to all our panelists out here. So we just concluded yet another great discussion.